Hello and welcome to the second session of our Hearts of Wulin, Wrath of the Sharkfinger Princess. This is a session that's on the Gauntlet Gaming calendar, which is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Community. That's an online gaming club that you can find out more about at gauntlet-rpg.com. And my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. Last time we set up our characters, we created them, we introduced them. They had a little conflict on the road, a very strange conflict with essentially Jiangxi, the undead raised up that seemed to be targeted at each of them, as it turned out. So that was the thing. And they have, at the start of last session, arrived at this wedding that is marrying Righteous Jade from the Desert Star Clan and Dawning Joy from the Blooming Lotus Society. And a lot of people have been called here because there's still this overhanging threat of the Sharkfinger Princess, who has disrupted a number of weddings over the last year. The Sharkfinger Princess has a connection directly in the entanglements to one of our PCs, but we'll come back to that. I would have everyone introduce their characters. Just remind you that we do have a Lines and Veils X card, open door policy. You can check on that. I'll check in a little while to see if anybody's added anything to the Lines and Veils. But right now, let's start. As I do, I kind of try to change who the person the first seat is. So Michael, let's have you give us the quick pitch, remind us who Praying Falcon is, and if you want to say something about your entanglement. So yourself, pronouns, and maybe brief on the entanglements.
Sure. So I'm Michael. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Praying Falcon, who is using the Bravo playbook and is a monster hunter. So basically, he's a dashing young man with long gray hair, bit of a thrill seeker, and yeah, I'm really curious what all this business is about, because I can't have someone interrupt the wedding of one of my family members. So, and for entanglements.
And who specifically are you related to again?
Oh, the bride, I think right. Dawning Joy.
Okay.
So, should I just highlight one entanglement or mention both?
But yeah, just give us a sense of what your entanglements are. That way they'll kind of help us, like, both of them, just to remember what they are.
Yeah, so basically my romantic entanglement is that Midnight Orchid really looks like a former love of mine, but they died by the hands of a monster, and now they're promised to Ashen Twilight. And that's extra juicy because I know Ashen Twilight is secretly a monster who saved my life previously. And in return, I have promised them to help Ashen Twilight to woo Mu Zhou.
Excellent. Next up is Forsaken Crow.
Yes, I'm playing Forsaken Crow, she, her. She's an outsider, the cursed. Yeah, she's cursed to bring just sort of bad luck and misfortune on people around her. And she's been hired as basically a mercenary to provide some extra protection at the wedding. Her entanglements are, I fled from Praying Falcon because of my curse, but now when I see them with Midnight Orchid, my heart aches. And also, Mu doesn't believe my curse caused the death of someone dear to her, but her sister does, Onyx Viper.
Excellent. That brings us to Mu. Oh, I can't hear you.
Is that on now? Okay.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Anya. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Mu Zhuangshang. Her pronouns are she, her as well. She is the loyal. I'm playing the alchemist. And my entanglements are my heart aches for my teacher Forsaken Crow, but Magistrate's son will bring me to ruin if I said anything. Who we haven't met, but I think we are gonna meet today. And my general entanglement is Midnight Orchid, my rival, knows about the bad actions I did to my friend, I did to the family of my friend Praying Falcon, who is my travel companion and the greatest monster hunter in the land, even though he's hunted like 5 monsters in our whole career. You're muted, Lowell.
Perfect. That brings us last but not least to Midnight Orchid.
Yeah, so I'm Mona, she, her, and I'm playing Midnight Orchid, also she, her, and she is the aware with the sorcerer role. So she is basically an occult detective with a gambling scene, and she helps people with supernatural problem for free and use gambling to make up for her daily expenses the rest of the time. And her entanglement is she thinks Forsaken Crow is too hard-headed to be dealing with the supernatural, but Peerless Zealand keeps encouraging them. And also, she failed to save Onyx Viper from turning to a dark side. And right now, Onyx Viper is traveling with us. And the Sharkfinger Princess, which is the supposed villain of this scenario, blames Orchid for Onyx Vipers for some reason. Yeah.
Excellent. So we are taking up again with our group having arrived. As you may recall from last time, there is a smallish older temple, very beautiful grounds, but not huge. The nature of the god that this temple is dedicated to is forgotten. The writing is faded away. The statues are somewhat shapeless. When they know it was powerful, but it's become an important rituals place for locals, and it has been chosen as kind of a neutral area for the wedding of these two important families. There are guests from all kinds of other societies and groups and clans and factions that are here, and those are in great tents and temporary buildings that have been built around in the land that surrounds this temple. When you arrive, you are one of many people who are arriving at that point, and I think you're kind of in the mix of the throng of the group as you arrive, and I do think that Praying Falcon, like you hear your name called out, and you will see, you're alongside this cart. You will see come forward your sister, as well as a couple of her handmaids / bodyguards, and she comes rushing over to you. You took a little bit of a hit during that fight, right? Praying Falcon?
Well, just a little bit. We obviously defeated them easily in the end.
So your sister comes over, ignores everyone that's clearly with you as your companions, and says, "Praying Falcon, you were supposed to arrive hours ago."
Well, there was just a minor delay, nothing to worry about.
Oh, good. And she'll look around. Let me ask each of you, Forsaken Crow, have you met the bride? Do you know Praying Falcon's sister, do you think?
I think we met in passing.
Okay, so she'll nod and acknowledge you. Moo, have you met the bride?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe it's the first time I come over here.
So I do think there's that moment where, yes,
Just one detail to keep in mind. I'm really curious how that plays out. You brought some bad luck to our family or some disaster. Probably not to the bride, but someone else, right?
Yes. Yeah.
so there maybe
Okay.
is a moment where Dawning Joy does look at you and says, Moo, have we met before?
No, I'm not sure. Maybe since I think I'm just nervous in that moment, because maybe there's a bit of recognition, but I'm thinking about the past I have with Praying Falcon and their family.
Last time I think we saw a shot of you standing outside of a
Yes,
location.
having
Maybe
stolen.
maybe we see a shot of that, but you're closer. We definitely get Dawning Joy looks at you guys. I'm sorry, you just seem so familiar. But it must have been in passing.
Yes, I have such a generic face.
She said, "Oh no, I wouldn't say that. No. And she'll turn to Midnight Orchid. And Midnight Orchid, have you met the bride before?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm basically in the same line of work as Green Falcon, and also I know about what happened between Moo and Green Falcon's family. So I think I have met them. Yeah.
She will say, "I'm Midnight Orchid. We're so glad to have you here. We're having you and so many others who know of the other world. I hope we'll be able to protect us. I am glad you were here." And she'll see Dawning Joy will look up and say, you've brought my other handmaid, Onyx Viper. And Onyx Viper will step down out of the cart and kind of walk past all of you, kind of ignoring you, and embrace your sister, Praying Falcon, and kind of take her hands. And she says, yes, your brother and the others helped me. There was an incident on the road, but nothing for you to worry about. And your sister, Praying Falcon, says, I must go and make preparations. I'm going to take Onyx Viper with me. But please, I know there are many people here who will be glad to see your arrival. I know that Ashen Twilight was looking for you, Praying Falcon. So you may wish to find her. And she'll kind of take Onyx Viper by the arm.
Actually,
Yes.
before the bride leaves, I want to pipe up and say, we were attacked by the undead, so you should be aware.
What the undead? What, Jiangxi?
Yes.
And I shoot you a very mean look. Because I didn't wanted to worry my sister.
Oh, she says, well, you should inform Peerless Zalan. She is overseeing the defenses. I know that that I've heard that she's worked with some of you before, but you should tell her and keep her in the loop about this. And she will bow to all of you, and she will take Onyx Viper, and she will head off. And there is that moment where all of you are together. I don't know if there's anything that anybody wants to say to your companions before people head off in different directions, or do you want to go together towards something? Praying Falcon, what do you think?
Well, and I talked to Forsaken Crow, but the others are around and will hear this as well. Was that really necessary?
She deserves to know about the threat. She's in danger and she deserves to know.
Yeah, but we'll be able to protect them.
It's easier to protect someone who's on their guard than someone who's oblivious.
I just want to point out that, are we sure they were undead? I mean, they sure they were mean, sure they were trying to eat us, but drunk people do crazy stuff all the time. Are we sure they were undead?
I mean, they are dead now.
Also,
They sure are.
yeah, and drunk people usually don't crumble to dust when you kill them.
Half credit.
Please put it on the list.
And I write it down.
Nice.
So there's just one thing I'd like to ask all of you. Don't you think it's curious that all of us were targeted by someone we knew from previous lives? Like former acquaintances, friends, enemies, they all came back. That can't be a coincidence. Do you have any thoughts on that, Midnight Orchid?
I mean, it's obviously aimed at us, but I'm not sure if it's related to the wedding or not, because we just happen to be traveling to the same direction, to the same location, so it's very easy to ambush us. So maybe it's just someone who has something against us, maybe not necessarily have something against the wedding or the bride or the groom or anything. Yeah.
I mean, it is a big coincidence that the one who attacked me looked a lot like Wanderer Bo, who I killed. I think you were with me, weren't you, Praying Falcon, like 2 months ago? I'm not saying again they weren't dead. I'm just saying he looked a lot like him.
Well, he certainly was undead, and he definitely goes on the list.
So you'll have this chat and then it kind of fades off. So let's come around and let's give a chance for each of you to kind of call a scene with an NPC or a PC that you want to talk to. Kind of let's get that in motion. Forsaken Crow, who would you go seek out, or who do you think would find you?
Who was it that was in charge of the defenses? I didn't catch the name.
That is Peerless Zalan, who has been a mentor and a friend to you in the past.
Okay, I'm absolutely going to go to her to
Okay.
let her know about the Shanxi.
So we'll see you make your way through until you come to a tent, an area. You can see that there are sigils that have been marked in the ground, and there are spell papers and prayer papers around and about, and there are a number of cultivators, spiritual defenders in white who are around, and you'll see Peerless Zalan, an older woman slightly, who will see you and will approach the Forsaken Crow. We are well met. I cast the oracles this morning and I saw danger in your path. I hope that your trip was uneventful.
We were attacked by undead with some sort of cinnabar in their eyes, bringing them to life.
That is a powerful magic.
And yes, that they were targeted specifically for me, Praying Falcon, Mu, and Jin.
Interesting. But you were able to defeat them without too much trouble. Everyone is okay?
Yes, we were all fine. Though I am suspicious of Onyx Viper. She was with us as well, and the undead never went after her. They only went after us. It's suspicious.
They did not attempt to attack her, or is it that you were able to stop them from that?
I'm not sure. It seems interesting that of the 5 people there, only one had no undead waiting for them.
But isn't Onyx Viper Mu Yanshang's sister?
Yes, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell Moo about my suspicions yet. I've caused enough problems for that family.
I will say to you that everything that I've seen points to this being a challenging next few days. I know that it scares you, but you may be called on to draw on those powers that have been gifted to you.
I'll do my best to do more good than harm.
I know you will. I know you will, but just want you to know that I will be here to support you if you need to go down that path.
Thank you, Zaylon. You've always been a great friend and mentor to me.
Yes, yes. Well, we will speak later. I appreciate you bringing me this information, and I will relay it to the others so they are aware. She'll nod and bow to you as she goes off to talk to some of the cultivators. Kind of a cold wind blows across for a moment, comes down, but doesn't seem like anything important. Moo, who do you want to talk to? What do you want to have a scene with?
Could I walk in just as their conversation is ending?
Absolutely.
I walk into a tent and I go, my teacher's teacher, Miss, what's the name?
Peerless
Miss
Salon.
Miss Peerless Shalan, and I am carrying this little box filled with stuff, and I go into this like traveling saleswoman pitch, and I say, your alchemist is here, Miss Shalan.
Your reputation precedes you, Moo. We are glad to have your strength lent to ours in these dark times. How can I help you?
Of course. As I am putting some products, I was called here because I was told you needed all the protection possible on this weekend. So I brought chalk, salt. Chalk, salt, incense, and all the possible products you could need in order to stay out. All the modern miracles of science and alchemist to keep away creatures that might try to ruin the wedding.
And she'll turn to for second crow. Thank you. I will speak with you later. I have to review these materials.
Absolutely. I will see you, and I will see you as well, Moo.
I bow to for second row, master.
And Moo will come over and begin to look through these things. It seems like you are well prepared.
The modern sciences give us so much preparation against the unknowns of the world. So I do my best to bring the latest.
If I may, she's looking through at something. May I speak frankly with you?
Of course.
I had the opportunity to speak with Magistrate's son And she wasn't direct about it, but it seems that how do I put this? You have not earned her trust.
But what do you mean? How could that be possible? I mean, the few times that I've met Magistrate Sun, I've tried to be my most upstanding.
Then why do you think Magistrate Sun would speak?
I think I start like cutting on some paper or something.
Why do you think Magistrate Sun would speak negatively about you?
I get nervous and I say, maybe because Magistrate Sun knows about Master Crow, and and she does not approve sometimes of my eagerness to as a close friend and student of Master Crow.
The student-teacher relationship is sacrosanct.
I agree. That's why I'm amazed that Magistrate Sun wouldn't approve of me while Master Crow does.
Well, I will say this to you, and I appreciate you bringing these ritual objects and coming here to help defend the wedding. Forsaken Crow is my star pupil, and anything that distracts him from his work, I would consider a personal affront to me.
I wouldn't dare to distract her.
All right, as long as we understand one another.
I take a step back. I feel like there's something I'm not catching that you're trying to tell me.
I'm merely saying that Magistrate Sun suggested that your feelings for Forsaken Crow went beyond that of a responsible student.
Is a responsible student not supposed to admire and cherish their teacher, perhaps?
I think you take my meaning. I think you understand what I'm saying.
I think I finally ended up cutting whatever I was playing with. I'm like, I think you mean you are reading into something?
Yeah, I would like, I think, an inner conflict roll right now.
Yes.
Before you continue on.
It's whatever stat I choose,
Yeah.
or
As long as it's not water.
as long as it's not water. Okay, I think it's fire, probably.
Okay.
That's a +2.
Yeah.
2d6 +2 as fire. That's an 11.
11. So you hold yourself together. You keep yourself like absolutely in control. And like you stare Peerless Salon in the eyes, like you don't back down.
Just before leaving, I just want to say, I think you are reading into something, but give like, I forgot. Give Magistrate Sun my best in case I don't see her, and let her know that I will keep looking out for Master Crow whenever I'm with her.
Fair enough. Perhaps I read too much into the situation. Good day to you.
Good day to you. And I think I'm sweating as I walk out.
Yeah. Don't forget to mark XP. Midnight Orchid, who would you like to talk to?
Yes, I think I will roll inner conflict because
For-
I'm not sure if I should go keep an eye on Onyx Viper or go to Peerless Zelan and warn against keeping Forsaken Crow involved with
Yeah, you've got two dark, what you consider dark threats present here at the wedding. I think you are a little torn about which one you really need to deal with.
to roll with us because I'm trying to be cautious about this. And I get an 8.
An 8. So I think the worst choice is to go and cause trouble for Onyx Viper. So if you want to do that, then you don't have to mark an element. But if you want to be more responsible, you can mark an element and go talk to Peerless Salon.
I mean, on 7 to 9, it says you must either flee the scene.
Well, yeah, right now when you have a thing where you're torn between two choices, fleeing is essentially fleeing from what's the best choice.
Okay. So the best choice would be
In this case, I think the best choice is talking with Peerless Salon. The worst choice, the one that's going to possibly cause most trouble, is talking to Onyx Viper.
yeah. Then I'm going to go talk to Onyx Viper.
Then we will see you arrive. There are a group of handmaids who are there. This is in a beautiful place. You see the bride is there donning joy. You'll see that Onyx Viper has changed into another beautiful outfit and is seated there close by the bride, very companionably talking. It's clear that they are close, good friends. You will arrive, and Dawning Joy, the bride, will say, Midnight Orchid, we are doing some ritual decorations and preparations. Would you join us?
I say, yeah, of course.
And you'll sit down, and they are working on doing some paper folding and creating paper flowers and things. And you're seated there for a while. How do you want to approach this?
I want to know what Onyx Viper is actually after here. Should I maybe study her while we do these things?
Yeah, you can absolutely study her.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to try to study her. Let me see. Study is probably going to be mental. I think I'm going to try Wu. Because this is like sitting there patiently and trying to be curious. I got 3.
So first of all, mark the element that you rolled with on this one.
Okay.
And you realize just how hard it is to read Onyx Viper. Like you know there's something there, but it kind of stays out of your reach. And there is a point there that Onyx Viper will say to you, I had heard, like I'd spoken with Onyx Viper says, I don't know how to say this to you, Midnight Orchid. But I'm worried about Forsaken Crow.
Oh, how so?
He seemed, I don't know, it felt like there was a shadow on her. Do you think so? Did you worry about Forsaken Crow?
I have a out of character question. So
Yeah.
do I know anything about Forsaken Crow's curse?
No, you just know that he's too hot-headed, and you're really worried about his like how he
But
throws himself in.
I'm a sorcerer, so would I pick up on anything about her?
Well, let's actually ask Forsaken Crow. Do you think that Midnight Orchid has sensed anything about the curse that's on you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so yeah, maybe not the specifics, Midnight Orchid, but you do know that there's some kind of magic that and not good magic that surrounds Forsaken Crow.
Yeah, so I follow Onyx Viper's words and I say, yes, there's something ominous, some ominous magic surrounding her, Forsaken Crow.
I'm so glad that you can see it as well as I do.
And so I asked her, how did you find out about this?
About
the magic around Forsaken Crow. I am not aware you have.
Oh, no, I am rather sensitive. Well, I am not a practitioner of magic. My family has always been rather sensitive to the presence of magic. And when I saw Forsaken Crow today again, I saw that shadow. I hope that you will be able to help her.
Yes, I will try my best.
And she nods. She says, good. I am glad that your attention will be on that. I'm going to cut from you and swing back. This is a little bit later in the day. There's been some more people arriving, connections being made. That later on today there will be a feast that will be laid out, and probably there are preparations being made for that. Probably there's some wine flowing already as we get to the later part of the day. Let's come around. Let's do another kind of once around, letting you each call a scene. You can call it with a PC or an NPC before we kind of like bring the players together. Yes. Moo, you want to say something?
You're muted.
I don't think Michael established a scene.
Oh, did I miss Praying Falcon? I thought I
Yeah,
started
since we did all the characters together, and then I didn't get a scene.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I
let's
see.
let's do Praying Falcon then. I apologize.
No worries. Yeah, I think I'll seek out Ash and Twilight
Okay.
since she asked for me.
Ash and Twilight is very excited to see you. Praying Falcon. This place, this wedding, this gathering is wondrous. There are so many people here, so many emotions, so many things, so many beautiful things. It is wondrous. I'm very excited, and I hope that you will perhaps fulfill your promise to me, your debt to me.
Well, obviously,
I
that
saw
might-
Moo here, and she is more beautiful than ever. You You must help me.
So out of character.
Yeah.
Do I know what kind of creature she is? Is this something dangerous
think-
for my friend? Or
I
something?
think definitely you know. So what do we think it is? Praying Falcon is she a fox spirit? Is she a snake spirit? Is she something else? What do you think she is?
I'm not really familiar with those creatures.
So the fox spirit is more mischievous, more a trickster. The snake spirits in the lore are a little more sinister, but they have a habit of falling in love with people, which kind of makes up for that. But they're also ghosts that have assumed physical form through various powers and things. What do you think we should know here about Ashen Twilight?
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
If we are going with animal spirits, I feel like Asian Twilight may be a rabbit.
Okay. So kind of an animal rabbit spirit. Are you okay with that, Praying Falcon?
Sure.
Okay.
But do you mind elaborating on that, Mona? Is that anything that's different from a fox spirit, for example?
I know, because she gave me this kind of very excited and jumpy vibe, and yeah, in this kind of legends, the animal spirits have some like common powers, like they can transform into people, and sometimes maybe they revert partially or fully back into animal form, etc., etc. It's just like fox spirit and snake spirit are more common in stories and media, but technically it's kind of an animism idea that basically any animal and even object could become a spirit.
Oh, okay.
Like there are stories about flower spirits or even spirits of like musical instrument and such.
Okay.
The sort of the thing that we'll be looking at here is these kinds of animal spirits. They're very much chaotic neutral. They are not necessarily good. They're not necessarily bad, but they do what they want.
So I guess I have to roll in a conflict because this isn't something I really want to happen to my friend. I try to weigh my words very cautiously, so I'm rolling with Earth.
Okay.
So let's see how that goes. So this is a 4 in total.
That is a 4. So what is it you say, maybe as you're trying to be gentle about this, that is more actually digging yourself deeper in, making a promise, like obliging yourself to Ashen Twilight? You will help me. You will help me, won't you? You said you would, won't you?
I'm always good on my word.
She takes your hand. Thank you. Thank you so much for again a second promise that is just, you will. I'm just so excited. I'm shivering.
And I'm kind of speechless. But nonetheless, I'm curious. So how did you get to this wedding?
Oh, I traveled here with, and I hate to say this, I took advantage of my relationship with Midnight Orchid's family, friends of theirs, distant connections. They were coming. And of course, I'm promised to Midnight Orchid. So I took advantage of that. I haven't spoken to them about that.
Isn't that going to interfere with your endeavors?
She puts her hand on your shoulder. I'm sure we can work something out.
Cool. And if that's okay, I'd like to use Tracing Shadow.
Yeah.
When you spend time interacting with someone to read their web of connections role, and then I just want to see what's going on, if there's any
Sure.
secret I can learn or something. Just to clarify, did I have to mark my element I rolled earlier for that in a conflict?
No, I didn't call it at that point, so let's pass on that. So let's just go straight to Tracing Shadow. What do you want to roll that with?
Well, if it's still okay, I'd go with Earth.
Okay.
So 2d6 plus 1. That's an 11.
That is an 11. On a hit, really entanglement and a secret they would prefer remain hidden. You're going to take +1 forward on hearts and minds against them, but they're not going to be aware of this. I think that you will definitely sense, maybe it's some perfume or something like that, that there is a strong connection between Ashen Twilight and Onyx Viper. Like there's a connection there, and that maybe they are helping one another in their activities. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then let's do this. Let's pause here. Let's take our first break here. We'll come back and we'll do that once around, starting from Forsaken Crow, and do that once around, and then bring the group back together. So take 10. So we take up a little later in the day as we're getting on towards twilight, and preparations are being made. People are gathering into groups. So Forsaken Crow, have a little bit more time this afternoon. What would you like to do? Who would you like to talk to, NPC or PC? What do you think?
I think I'd probably like to hang out with Praying Falcon because I haven't seen him in a while, and I want to see what how he's been doing since I fled because of the curse.
Yeah. So Praying Falcon, where does Forsaken Crow find you? Are you in a tavern? Are you in a garden? Are you by a pond? Are you in your rooms? Where do you think you are?
So there has to be some wine that's flowing, actually, because there's a party going on.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
already in the mood.
Yeah, so a little place that's been set aside for guests to come and sit and drink and relax. Forsaken Crow, you will see Praying Falcon. Praying Falcon, are you moderate in your drinking, or do we see that you've probably been having a few cups? What do you think?
I think I've had some cups already.
Okay. Forsaken Crow, you will see that.
Okay, I'll just like Falcon, it's been some time. How are things?
And you can tell he had some drinks already, and he says, "Come, sit with me. Um, let's have some wine. Let's talk. I'm really curious what you've been up to."
I sure I'll have some wine, and I mean I'll take some, but I'm trying to stay sober for the length of the weekend or the wedding, just because I've got a curse. I'm surrounded by people who I don't want to like make things worse. It's just a yeah. But out loud I'll say, nothing up with me much. Just traveling, doing some mercenary work, training Moo a bit. But how are you and Midnight Orchid?
Well, you know, she's promised to Ashen Twilight. So that's the thing.
Yes, arranged marriages can cause a lot of heartache.
Is there anyone you have your eyes on?
No.
I think now that is an inner conflict trigger right there.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna roll Earth.
Okay.
Five.
So go ahead and mark your Earth. And I think kind of as you are saying that, Midnight Orchid, you happen to be passing by and you see Forsaken Crow and Praying Falcon there. And out of the corner of your eye, suddenly Midnight Orchid is there, Forsaken Crow. How do you greet your two old friends? And of course, what do you think, Midnight Orchid?
Yeah, I was just really casual, like, oh, hey, there you are. And want to buy me a drink?
Of course, yes, right away.
Wine is brought, put before you. I assume Midnight Orchid, you sit to join these two.
Yeah.
Two figures, both of whom have strong unrequited feelings for you.
You must have so much to talk about. How are things with you, Midnight Orchid?
Yeah, I had a talk with Onyx Viper, and I'm not sure what's her intention for being on this wedding.
I wouldn't put too much stock into what Onyx Viper says. I don't know. I don't trust her much. It seems odd that the Zhangji only showed up right after we all unite with her. I don't know what she's up to.
Yeah, I mean, that's what worries me, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't trust her much. It seems odd that the Zhangji only showed up right after we all unite with her. I don't know what she's up to. Yeah, I mean, that's what worries me, right? 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 I mean, that's what worries if she's just after us, why is she at the wedding? And she had apparently become good friends with the bride. And her family, as she said, had been always spiritually sensitive. So I think maybe she had noticed something that other people didn't. And I don't know if that, what kind of action she will take.
Do you think
feel-
this will? Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
And I clearly I've had several drinks, but now there's a moment of clearance, and very much seriously I ask both of you. So, do you think this will pose a problem for Mu? Because after all, we're suspecting her sister dealing in some dark forces here.
I think so. I just don't want Onyx Viper to drag Moo down with her.
Yeah, and Mu is kind of a hardline unbeliever in the supernatural, which I think in this case is not a good thing, because we are very much dealing with these forces here.
I think we should keep an eye on Onyx, but enough of that. I mean, there are other factors here. I mean, I hear you have your own wedding coming up, Midnight Orchid. Is that still a certainty?
Well, yeah, it's not anything. Well, I guess it's serious, but it's something planned out by my extended family, which I'm not even that close with. And because, you know, I'm from a merchant family, and I haven't been close with them since I started all this meddling with all this supernatural business and everything. So yeah, I do wonder where Asian Twilight is at right now, though. I haven't seen her. Have you? Here, the Falcon, a Praying Falcon?
I have, and maybe I can comfort you a bit in this difficult situation. Out of character, I'd like to roll for comfort as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So what, like you're trying to make Midnight Orchid feel better about this. What do you want to roll that comfort and support with?
So there's no downside to this, right? Like failing a roll.
Oh well, you can certainly miss, but
Okay. I think I'll go with wood, because I'm a bit mischievous myself, and I want to see how she reacts. And so there's a modifier of 0. Let's see how it goes. That's a 6.
That's a 6. Do you want to spend a bond to bump that to a 7? Or are you okay with that? Oh, you don't have any
one.
bonds. Oh.
Well, then maybe I say something that makes everything worse.
What is it you say that is like is out of order, is problematic for you?
Maybe he just blurted out the truth while drunk.
What do you say?
Oh, that's good. Just one question. I mark wood, right?
Yes, that will definitely be for this one. You're definitely going to mark your that stat you rolled.
Yeah. So I say to Midnight Orchid, well, maybe it's a good thing, since you're interested in the supernatural, and this would be a great opportunity to study it firsthand at a very maybe I shouldn't have said it, but you know, bunnies are cute.
And I think that is when you know, there's an interruption that comes in, that people are coming. We were to kind of we need to reset this. So we're setting up for the feast tonight. They kind of come in, and they're very effusive in their apologies, but they kind of suddenly, in the midst of all that, the gathering of you three is broken up as they clear the tables there. I'm going to cut away from you three. Moo,
Yes.
what do you want to, what scene do you want to call? Who do you want to talk to?
So something's happened that I wanted to set up, so I'm thinking.
Okay.
What I know is that I like to, I guess later than that, arrive where everyone is and ask them to have friends. How about a little gambling to pass on the night, since, you know, 4 coffins, 4 monsters, there's no chance there's any more coming.
So this is a little bit into the evening. Then you kind of draw the 4 of them back together.
Yep.
You okay? So as the feast is starting, let's say as the meal is getting started, Moo sits down and makes this offer of a gambling game.
In particular, I go to Midnight Orchid, and I ask her, Orchid, you know, it will be a privilege to have my money taken from such a what's the word? Such a good. I know there's another word. Such a proficient gambler as yourself.
I say, are you sure?
I mean, I'm feeling lucky. The only reason you are here today is because me and Falcon arrive on time to help you. I mean, Master Crow might have had things under control. I'm sure you help, but I'm feeling lucky.
So I was kind of ambivalent. Okay, if you can find 2 other people, we can play mahjong.
Well, you've got Forsaken Crow and Praying Falcon there.
Sure,
I mean,
that's when I catch them.
So wish to play a game of mahjong? Let's have everybody roll. There's no miss for this. Choose the element you want to roll with, probably your style element, because mahjong is a little bit of a conflict strategy. Let's see how this goes. Let's start with Praying Falcon. Why don't you roll?
Okay, I've got a 9.
Okay. Forsaken Crow.
Got a 6.
You had a 6. Moo.
That's a 5.
Got a 5. And last but not least, Midnight Orchid.
I got a 10.
Okay. So Midnight Orchid, it's a game. It goes back and forth. And definitely Forsaken Crow and Moo are giving you the tiles you need. You are, you get to that point, and inevitably they discard the one that you need. You take it and go out. It's you run the table. I think that Praying Falcon maybe has is the next closest, but still an edge below you because this is your element, right?
Yes.
Mu, is there any conversation you want to elicit during this play where Midnight Orchid seems to be doing very well?
Yes. I want to point out as it's clear that she's gaining an advantage. You know, Orchid, you have such a mind for strategy. Sometimes it's surprising that you, as well as, and I turn to Falcon, as Falcon put so much emphasis on the supernatural, being that we are in an age of alchemy. I think with every passing day, we discover these magical effects are nothing but the power of science, the power that we have over science and nature.
I said, well, yes, the science had given us many things, and it has been discovered, it discovers more things every day. But just like science can't win you this game, there are always forces that we will not easily understand or control. So you see, sometimes things in life like karma or luck or love, it's just like a game of mahjong or leaf game or any card game or dice game. You just gotta know when to hold them and when to fall down and when to walk away, when to run, and you never count your money while you are sitting at the table. There will be time enough for counting when the dealing is done.
Bravo.
I think you are finishing saying that as we all lose the game. And I turn to Forsaken Crow and I say, Masters, perhaps in training we should have Mojang as part of training.
I don't think I need to lose any more money to you all.
I think that's a good place for us to cut that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One more thing you want to do?
Yeah. Not just one more thing. Part of what I wanted to do was support.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
I don't know if I can
Yeah.
roll it.
What do you want to roll that with?
I think it will be with. It's not my best. It's metal because we're playing its calculation.
Mm-hmm.
That's -1, but I think that's a 2.
So
Can I make a suggestion?
Yep.
So like my God of Gambler move says that on a 10+, I can cause financial distress of or obligation to someone playing. But since this is kind of a friendly game, maybe I can just clear an element instead.
I like that. I like that. Let me come back to though this failed roll from Moo here.
May I suggest something?
Well, sure.
Well, maybe you've already had something similar in mind, or you want to go with your idea, but maybe someone notices that Moo isn't very lucky today. So Ashen Twilight might enter the next scene or something.
Well, actually, I want to push forward on an entanglement thing here. What is it about the way Moo acts or the way they play or something they say or something you see them pull out that reminds you of that tragedy that happened to your family? Praying Falcon.
Ooh, okay, I like that one. Anya, can you just repeat what kind of happened?
I think it was a really cold winter, maybe before your family came to whatever riches they have, and to survive, but still I stole some food, some goods that you had, and so you had a really rough winter that time.
Make it tragic that a relative went out to try and gather supplies and never returned.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, and it wouldn't have happened without that. And I also think that it wasn't until much time later, as we traveled, that I realized you were that family. I don't think I knew that at first.
So how could I realize that you're connected to this?
Maybe an object, a ring, or like a bracelet with a bell on it, or something like that. What do you think, Moo?
For some reason, I like the bell. I mean, you are a hunter. Maybe these sounds. Maybe there's a sound of something I'm always carrying that you remember from that one time.
Yeah, I think we get that ting of the bell, and that bell triggers our flashback, and you've definitely heard it before.
Oh yeah, maybe when the thief who never was caught entered our home and stole from us, I've heard the bells, and that bell in particular, and my eyes grow big when I look at Moo.
But I think, of course, we have to cut away before you can say anything. But you have a realization there. Midnight Orchid, let's come back to you. You have some things on the table you want to deal with. You have some tensions. Do you have something you want to call, or do you want me to put something in your path?
We are still on the same table, right?
Oh yeah, we can continue on that scene. I was gonna cut and move to a different one, but if you want to continue on with that, we can do that as your scene.
Yeah, because I mean, I also know what happened between them, because Moo's Funk say Midnight Orchid knows what Moo did to the family of Praying Falcon. So I think it makes sense that I will stay with this. So like I think I know this because, well, we need to establish what happened with maybe I was a guest at the family, like at Praying Falcon's family, because maybe they have some supernatural problem they need help with, or maybe I was just there because we are in the same work and we are good friends. And how do I know? Maybe I recognize Moo's aura or chi energy or something like that. So I always kind of knew, but I didn't tell Peerless Falcon because I guess maybe because I just think it wouldn't do any good. Like,
Okay.
I mean, it's and I don't think Moo meant any harm, and I feel like telling the truth will just cause more unnecessary heartache. So I didn't say anything. But when I look at Falcon,
you can tell that there's a flash of recognition on Praying Falcon's face when that bell tinkles. What do you do?
Yeah, so I kind of put a hand onto his shoulder and just like gently nudging him. I don't say anything yet, but I just put a hand on his shoulder and kind of, it's kind of supportive, but it's also kind of like, yeah, just remind him like, yeah, I just put my hand
Okay.
on his shoulder gently.
I think
And
you're in.
let's see what.
Yeah, your intent is to
Yeah.
comfort. Your intent is to draw his strength. What do you want to roll your comfort and support with?
I think I'm going to roll with metal because I'm trying to help him control his emotion.
Okay.
So like he doesn't.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I got.
So, let's start with this. Praying Falcon, you can clear one of your elements if you wish. And then Midnight Orchid, normally you would get to clear an element, but you don't have any elements cleared. So the other options are you can give Praying Falcon a bond with you, or you can ask Praying Falcon a question.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give them a bond with.
Okay. So Praying Falcon, you may write in one bond with Midnight Orchid.
Mhm. And you can definitely tell that he appreciates the gesture and is not going to confront Mu right now.
Midnight Orchid, does it feel fair for me to move on to what Praying Falcon's action is? Scene? Are you good with that, Midnight Orchid, for me to move on to Praying Falcon?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to check in before I did that. So Praying Falcon, you've had this moment of comfort, you've had this moment of realization. Do you step away from this? Where do you go? What do you do? Or do you want to stay and interact? Like, what do you want as your next scene? Where do we next find you?
Yeah, I think I'll excuse myself and leave and step out. And now I have to think. There's so much going on. That's really interesting now. So basically, I think I want to stalk Onyx Viper.
Okay.
Find out what she's up to, because I smelled that that perfume earlier on Ashen Twilight, and I know her sister did something bad against my family, and maybe they're kind of connected, you know.
Yeah, let's have you roll study. What do you want to roll that with?
Oh, I was thinking about
Oh,
Demon Catcher.
oh, okay.
So I'm stalking her.
Oh, yeah. Let's have you roll.
Let's see how that one goes. I'll try to make it. Where's my character keeper? I tried to be cautious, so I'm rolling with Earth.
Okay.
And that's a 7.
That is a 7. So you can catch them away from others as they are walking along, and you appear out of nowhere. And when you do, I think Onyx Viper is genuinely startled. She didn't hear you coming. She didn't feel you coming. And that clearly bothers her. And we should say, Praying Falcon.
Do you mind if I accompany you?
No, I would feel much safer if you were here with me.
Isn't it a lovely night? And probably there's like a huge full moon.
Oh, yeah.
and-
It is auspicious for the wedding tomorrow to take place in such a day, such a time.
So, just out of character, if anyone wants to give me some input, because I haven't thought about the next step, what would be appropriate to do?
I mean, you are the Bravo. You can always take the direct approach and kind of confront her.
You can also study.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Because I'm suspicious of her, and yeah, I think that's what I'll do. And I've got +1 forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while having this conversation, I try to really focus on her appearances, on her vibe, and therefore I'm rolling with Earth. So that's a 12.
So you have 2 hold to spend to ask questions or to make declarations or to assess her scale.
So definitely I'm going to assess her scale.
She is working very hard to conceal it, but she is well above your scale.
Mm.
She tamps it down when she realizes you're there, but she has potent supernatural energy and power to her.
Okay. What else? So I could ask about yeah, I'm curious while the conversation occurs whether I get a feeling for her motivation, if she is like having something, well, if she's nefarious in a way.
I
She wants
think
to sabotage the wedding or something.
I think there is a moment there where you realize that she is, in fact, the Sharkfinger Princess.
Ooh.
That there are
I knew
2
it.
selves there.
I knew it.
Cool.
You seem
Is this-
upset. Is there something wrong, Praying Falcon? She looks at you very seriously.
Well, I'm just upset we haven't met before.
Oh, I too. Here we are, standing alone by ourselves with no one around by the edge of this pond here under the moonlight.
Well, maybe we should cherish this moment.
Oh, I will. Ashen Twilight is a friend of yours, is she not?
Well, friend is a word I wouldn't necessarily use, but she knows me and I know her.
She is a friend of mine as well.
Oh, I'm aware.
Oh,
So
are you?
I'm just an admirer.
I have to thank you again for the skill and ability you showed in protecting me from that attack of the Jiangxi.
I'm curious if there's another opportunity to protect you soon, or if the tables will turn.
What do you mean the tables turn? That I would protect you? I assume that's what you mean.
I think now I'm rolling in a conflict.
Okay, that feels right.
Because on the one hand, I'm kind of smitten, but I'd like to confront her, but I'm not sure how to do it because she might be a threat to the wedding and such. And let's see, what could that be? I think I'll roll with passion
Okay.
because I'll try to be charming. So that's an 11.
You keep yourself together. What do you think the smart thing to do here is?
I think I'd probably want to not confront her, but rather make her believe I'm on her side in a way. You know, I'm an admirer. I kind of am fascinated, but she knows that I know.
Interesting. Let's have you do hearts and minds.
Okay.
I'm going to say your control there. The haven't been aggressive. I think that she's susceptible.
Okay, so what would I like her to do? Is there something that has been?
Would you like her to believe that you perhaps are on her side?
Yeah, that's probably more realistic than asking her not to crash the wedding or kill people. Let's see. I think you notice while he stands there next to her, they're both probably looking at the temple ruin and the moonlight lighting their faces, and he really is not looking directly at her and carefully weights his words. And so I'm rolling with Earth. It's a 10.
She says, I know of your love for Midnight Orchid, and I will do everything I can to make sure that you are matched to who you deserve. Do we have an understanding?
We do.
Excellent. Well then, I should go. I will see you later. And she bows and walks away, seemingly reassured that you are not a threat and perhaps even on her side.
Mm.
I'm going to cut from you to Forsaken Crow. What do you want to do, Crow?
I think I'd like to pull Midnight Orchid aside for a conversation in private.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So after the mahjong is broken up, as you're kind of in it's night now, the full moon up, you kind of catch Midnight Orchid before she gets too far. What do you say, Crow?
Midnight Orchid, I realize we don't know each other that well, but I feel I have to ask, are you looking forward to your arranged marriage?
So. I mean, it's not like I'm dating anyone right now, so I have no particular feelings about it.
And would your family come to any harm if for some reason it didn't come to pass?
No, I don't think so. It's not it's not like they need it to happen or anything. They just think I'm about the right age for it. And since I'm not really looking, they just thought, oh, well, you can, yeah, well, since you are not looking, we looked for you.
All right. Well, just I heard what Praying Falcon said about your intended, and well, I've killed monsters before, and I have no major ties to anyone in this area. I don't think any harm would go back on any of you if I happened to kill another monster.
I pat you on the shoulder and say, yeah, we have all killed monsters before. That's no big deal.
And I mean, with the Shark Finger Princess going around, if a wedding guest just vanished, I mean, who could say the cause?
Yeah, now I'm getting a little suspicious. And like, what are you on about? Like, you are starting to sound a little weird.
Yeah, I was thinking about rolling inner conflict, but
Yeah, I actually kind of think that before you say any more, I think that we do that and then we see where that goes. I think it'll help shape the next line from you.
Okay.
What do you want to roll that with?
Let's see. Oh, dang it. I guess I'll roll with water for wisdom. I'm running out of unmarked traits.
Yes.
I got an 11.
Okay, you keep yourself together. You've been asked, like you can tell that Midnight Orchid hasn't quite picked up on what you're saying. What do you say?
Midnight Orchid, I'm going to be blunt. There is someone out there who loves you a great deal, and I owe them a debt, and I am considering removing any obstacle to you two getting together.
Wait, out of character.
Out of character, I'm in love with Praying Falcon, who I know is in love with you. So I want to kill
Twilight?
yeah, Ashen Twilight, so that Praying Falcon can marry you.
Yeah. Okay, so but I don't even know Fearless Falcon is in love with me, right? So
you don't. But here's the thing: is you do know that Forsaken Crow is definitely tangling with dark forces, and here he is suggesting that he would murder for you.
I mean, I think I should roll in a conflict too, because I have an entanglement with Forsaken Crow, and this situation is kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will roll with metal again because I'm trying to think straight.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an 11.
So again, you all are holding yourselves together. Keep your calm, keep your composure. How do you?
Yeah, so I think
what do you say?
Once again, my hand goes to the coin on my belt, just for precaution, and I say, "Be careful now. You there are some lines you may not want to cross, especially when dealing with these forces that we do not fully understand."
Midnight Orchid, you know I'm cursed. I'm not going to last too long in any situation, no matter what I do. I might as well do a little good before I go. If I can make the world a little better and allow for love to prosper by taking out a monster, then I will do that.
I said that, well, you see, I don't want you to tangle up with these dark forces because, honestly, I will be blunt to like, I don't want you to tangle with these dark forces because I think you are too straightforward. And yes, there are monsters. And a lot of time, when monsters are tangled up with humans, the result doesn't end well. But actually, a lot of them don't mean us harm. They play by their own rules and they have their own logic for being. So while, yes, when a monster becomes a threat, we need to remove them. Just like when a person becomes a villain, we must defeat them. But just killing a random monster is not an inherently good act, just like killing a man or an animal isn't inherently good or bad. And it depends on what the monster is, what do they want, and how that would affect people.
All right, you make a good point. I will not hurt Ashen Twilight unless you change your mind. And I think that's, I'll head off.
Yeah, that feels like a good cut to the scene. Moo, let's come to you.
I think I mean, Praying Falcon and Onyx were talking like on the other side of this pond. I understood.
Yeah.
So maybe when they depart in separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
And if I notice this, I would like to go to Onyx Viper.
Okay. Walk away. Haven't heard what their conversation was, but walk away and Onyx Viper says, "Sister, Moo, we haven't had a chance to talk."
I go, don't you sister me like that.
What you seem angry.
I'm not angry. It's just that every single time I see you, things happen, and now you are talking with Praying Falcon.
Praying Falcon approached me.
His best.
He approached me. We spoke briefly, and there was nothing untoward about it, sister. Do you have feelings for him?
No. I do not have feelings for him. It's just we're doing a job. We're doing a job, and you are always doing this kind of stuff where you interfere with my stuff, and I do not appreciate that. You know it.
I am sorry. The bride asked me here as one of her handmaids. I tear rolls down her cheek. I don't know what to say.
No. I know this one. It's like that one time when father took us to a lake. I know this face. Onyx.
What would you have me do?
For starters, okay, you were asked here as a bridesmaid, but how do you know? I forgot the name of who is marrying
Dawning Joy.
Dawning Joy. But how do you know that Dawning Joy?
Our paths crossed some months back. and I helped her with some affairs.
And I like point at her outfit. And where does this style come from?
She was very generous to me. She wanted me to, since it was not something that I could afford on my own, she generously paid for it. I do not wish to speak. That's, as you know, this is embarrassing.
And I go, so as well, some months ago.
Yes.
All right. And I lean into her and I say, you know, sister, as much as I could be glad that you are doing better since last time I saw you, I can't help but notice this is a new attitude. And I can't help but notice that I might be biased and I might say things happen, but I did notice earlier you to be extremely calm in a rather unfamiliar situation to you, as far as I know, with the and I go like with the monsters earlier today.
She paused and she goes, it's because I knew you were there.
Don't you lie
Because-
to me? Don't you lie to me? You knew I was there at that moment.
Yes, you were there when those things appeared. I know what you can do. I know your skill. So do you want to roll study?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Study. I think it's going to be with I think water.
Okay.
I'm trying to leverage how much I know her
Sure.
as water. No, it's a 5.
You feel very bad, Mark Water, for accusing your sister, for saying these horrible things, and you realize like her eyes are red rimmed. She's trying not to cry and ruin her makeup, and she says, "You're my sister. I and I have to go." And she will take off, her heart clearly to your eyes, broken by what you've just said to her. Clearly she looks up to you, and here you are. She's come, she's tried to impress you, and you've stomped on her. Does that feel fair?
That feels very, very fair.
Okay. Let's take 5.
Yep.
Come back. I want to give everybody another little shot here at things before we kind of maybe move to some hard framing here. But let's just take a quick 5 bio and then we'll come back. Okay. So a lot of things have happened. We're here, after these discussions. Let's come back to Midnight Orchid. Midnight Orchid, you've had this weird conversation with Forsaken Crow. Is there anything you want to do? Is there somebody you want to talk to that you need to talk to?
Yeah, I think I want to have a quick conversation with Asian Twilight.
Okay, absolutely. You will find her in her rooms, close by where the brides are. She is brushing her hair as you arrive, and she says, Midnight Orchid. How are you?
I'm good. So I think what I do is I have an apple and I cut it into like one of those Japanese things where you cut out a slice and you cut the peel so it looks like a rabbit. like a slice of apple that looks like a rabbit, and I put that in front of Asian Twilight, and I say, I know, I have always knew.
Always?
Yeah, you know what I do for a living. Oh, okay, maybe not for a living. You know what I do when I'm not gambling. What I don't know is why are you here? What are you up to?
Let's have you roll hearts and minds.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I'm going to roll with food because I'm trying to be patient and yeah. I got a 5.
She says, the only reason I am here is because I have fallen in love and I am bound by that love. And I am here hoping to catch a glimpse of Mu Yanxiang. That is the reason I am here. I'm sorry. I know you do not love me, and I do not love you, and this marriage that has been arranged is a thing.
Yeah, I say, yeah, you know, I don't care about that, but yeah, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want anyone to interfere with mortal affairs with supernatural powers. So if you don't hurt any people and you don't try to influence this wedding, then
I've told you my reason. I've said to you why.
Yeah, I say, okay, so one last thing. Do you know the Shark Finger Princess?
I know of the Shark Finger Princess. Of course, everyone does.
Can I study her?
I think so.
Okay. I'm going
I do want you to mark the element for the failed hearts and minds, though.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
going to go with metal this time. I got an 8.
Okay. You have one hold.
Yeah, I want to know if she actually doesn't know who Shark Finger Princess is.
Oh, no, she knows exactly who Shark Finger Princess is.
So I say, don't lie to me now. We all know that Shark Finger Princess very much mess with mortal affairs. And if you help her in any way, then the deal is off. I won't hold back.
Some things in this world are beyond our control and beyond your control.
Yes, that's right. But if when mortal comes to be hurt by the supernatural, I will always try to stand between them. And that's when I like just turn around and leave. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Praying Falcon. You've had this encounter with Onyx Viper. You've learned some things. You felt some things. What do you do?
So obviously she made a very enticing promise that I could be together with Midnight Orchid. and Ashen Twilight would be out of the picture. But in the end, I'm a hunter, and I've gained her trust, and basically I want to set a trap and eliminate this threat. And I'm wondering if I should maybe do one of the special moves for the supernatural wuxia, uncover Bane, or maybe seek an expert or something.
I think Uncover Bane is a good one because you've been close by this figure. So maybe we see you back in your rooms going through scrolls, looking over things. Now that you know something more, we get that montage of the papers and details. Maybe you go to the some other experts here. What do you want to roll Uncover Bane with?
Let's see. I think Earth, because I'm really focusing on this. I'm not going to get distracted by anything, and maybe if I roll poorly, someone else wants to aid and come into the scene, but
Sure.
we can see how it goes. So I rolled a 7.
Yeah, 7. So on a 7 to 9, you have to choose 2 things about this Bane. And then something else is going to happen.
Yeah. Choose 2 and it claims another. Okay. I think
how many bonds do you have?
I've got 1.
Okay. It would take lots of people together to push that up to a 10 plus. So right now we're at that 7 to 9.
Yeah. I think I'll probably stick to that. And I think it can be only used once.
Okay.
That's appropriate. Do I have a rival who controls X?
Well, that would be Onyx Viper or herself.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that one.
I think that like you've realized that that she carries like her own Bane, like a set of hairpins. A comb, like one of those beautiful combs to hold up the wedding hair, elaborate, that, and that you think that you need to use that as a weapon to get through and start to lower her scale. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Forsaken Crow? Oh, and I am going to come back to the other part of that in just a moment.
I'm not sure where to go next. So if you want to hard frame a scene, feel free.
Let me think here. Oh, Amu, you had a suggestion?
Yeah, I wanted to do a scene with Forsaken Crow. So,
Okay, let's
Sounds
do
great.
that.
Okay, so after I stuck with Onyx, I got to Forsaken Crow, shook by what just happened, and I go, Master, I think I made a great mistake with my sister. I accuse her of being here with ulterior motives and basically being bad omen on this wedding, but I think she's here on true motives, and I'm trying to get to Forsaken Crow, like, well, yes, appealing to my attraction towards her.
Okay. I think, well, I mean, first off, I guess I'm going to try to comfort or support. Just like I've left my family some time ago, but I know how difficult family struggles are. I understand your suspicion, and this must be really hurting you. I'm sorry. So now I guess I'll roll.
Yeah. What do you want to roll that with?
You want? I'm gonna roll with fire.
Yeah.
Got an 8.
So Moo may either clear an element or take a bond with you, Forsaken Crow.
I'm gonna get a bond.
Okay. And how do you respond to this comfort here, Moo?
Forsaken Crow. 1. That's why I'm taking the bond, because I think it's exactly what I needed at that moment. Forsaken Crow is both my master and the person I like to be with. So I just like lean into her and I go like, you get exactly what's going on, master. And I'm so even though I wasn't expecting to see you here, I'm so glad we have met.
I'm trying to decide if Forsaken Crow realizes you're into her now. You know what? Yeah, I think now it's the moment where I think I like take your shoulders and like push you back a step.
Oh,
Like, wait, I realize master and student have a close bond, but are you? Do your interests go beyond that?
I go, master. I'm sorry. What's the expression? I lose myself.
Yeah.
I lost myself in the moment. It's but would I have these feelings? Would it be so undesirable as I like reach towards you?
Moo, I know you don't believe it, but I'm cursed. I can only bring misfortune on those around me. I have some skills to teach. I had some skills to teach you. I think you've probably learned everything I can teach by now, but I can't be more than that with anyone. I'll only make their lives worse.
Your wisdom in these situations, master, is something I'm unable to still to yet grasp for myself. I must believe you, even though such things as courses are not something something my own experience allows me to believe. I must leave you now, for I feel like I may have offended you.
and that's when the scream rings out in the night, when you'll hear this shriek. And I think the two of you will step out and you can feel like there's the like a cloud, like a fog over the place of dark magic, and this scream that has come from the temple. And Forsaken Crow and Moo, I assume you will take off, rush towards it. Praying Falcon, you hear this. I'll come back to you in just 1 second, even as you're kind of finishing up. Okay, that's what I have to do. And Midnight Orchid, I assume when you hear the scream, you will also rush towards it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're all rushing towards it. And I think the thing that gets you most, Praying Falcon, is you recognize the scream. You recognize the voice of your sister. And we will see the four of you sort of simultaneously break in to the temple, and you will see up towards the front where the wedding ceremony should be, dressed in her beautiful red wedding dress. You will see your sister. It's hard to see the blood against the wedding dress, but you can. And you will see Onyx Viper at this ghostly shape of a mask of the Shark Finger Princess standing above her. And you will see Peerless Zalan, bended knee at her master's feet, as well as cultivators who are clearly there assisting. And Ashen Twilight is standing in the way, kind of barring your way, and says, I do not want to do this, but I am compelled. What do you do, Midnight Orchid?
So I kind of nodded knowingly, like, oh, of course, I should have known. And then I kind of taken a step and toward the Shark Finger Princess, and I just ask her, why? I say, how does this make things better for you? No matter what you think happened, no matter who you blame about it, how does this make it better?
She looks at you and she says, you don't understand, Midnight Orchid. This is all your fault. You could have saved Onyx Viper from this path, but you didn't. You turned her away when she came to you for help years ago, and this is what she has become. What do you do, Praying Falcon?
I've got one clarifying question that
Yeah.
might influence the situation. Is my sister dead yet?
We don't know yet. Blood, the thing, we don't know. Is she alive? Is she dead? She's Schrodinger's sister at this point.
Okay. So I think I want to capitalize on the fact that Onyx Viper / the Shark Finger Princess thinks I'm on her side.
Okay.
And then betray her in the end.
Okay.
That might be my plan here.
So what's your goal? What do you do here? Do you move over there? Do you stand here? Do you attack one of your friends? Like, what do you do?
I think I'll move over her and stand next to her.
Okay. And I think Moo, Midnight Orchid, Forsaken Crow, you will see Praying Falcon rush up and stand at the side of the Shark-Fingered Princess. What do you do, Forsaken Crow?
Well, I'm enraged, and I mean, Praying
And
Falcon.
the man that you love has joined forces with this horrible, sinister figure.
Yes, but he's also out of arm's reach right now, and
Yep.
I'm gonna attack Ashen Twilight.
Okay, rush up, and you're going to engage Ashen Twilight. So we'll come back. I want to get the sort of positioning here before we resolve those. Moo, what do you want to do? In terms of foes, there's Peerless Zalan as well. We've got this group of troops. They're kind of blocking the way. They let Praying Falcon through, and then there's your sister and Sharkfinger Princess, and of course this young woman who may or may not be dead. What do you do?
I'm deciding if I'm either going for Onyx Viper directly or joy, because I have the ropes, so I probably can reach.
What do you want to do?
I think I'm really upset at Onyx right now.
Okay.
And it's not clear to me that it's...
So you want to clear a path to get to her, right?
Yeah.
Then I think that's overcome. Let's have
Okay.
you resolve that and roll.
I think that's fire.
Okay.
Close to us, fire. That's an 8.
So I think you will get most of the way there, but I think that those cultivators, like they're not much of an obstacle, but they do stop you from getting all the way up to your sister as they rush up, cut at the lines and put themselves in the way. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just go like, and to think you made me feel bad.
Yes, you believed me. Forsaken Crow. You move up and go to engage Ashen Twilight. This is your opportunity. You've wanted to do this anyway. So this is a duel. Go ahead and roll with your style element. She draws out a blade that wavers in the air, and she hops back and then probably leaps up onto the ceiling and then back down at you. Go ahead and roll.
I got a 10.
So she pushes you back at first because she is a spirit and she's all over the place and her movements are rapid. What is it you do to bring her short? Like, how do you stop her from all of that to get your chance to make a strike?
I think there's the expression that like the best swordsman in the world only fears the worst because he'll have no idea what they do. I think I just completely, I don't defend myself at all. I just leave myself completely open and charge, and she's so like surprised I'm able to get a good stab in.
Let me ask you this: as you thrust at her with this spear, are you showing mercy?
Absolutely not.
Shook right through her. Midnight Orchid, you see that fight breaks out as Forsaken Crow leaps forward and his anchor comes out. You see them clash, and then you see him run Ashen Twilight through. And you see her try to turn her head to look to say something to Moo, but Moo's already moved past her, and she doesn't even have a chance to confess her love before she dies. What do you do, Midnight Orchid?
And
Praying Falcon has seemingly joined forces with the Shark-Fingered Princess. Moo is engaged with troops. Peerless Salon is still out as a threat here in this temple. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to use an advance to take have sword will travel.
Okay.
And I'm going to intervene when Forsaken Crow kills Asian Twilight. I go and move the sword just enough so that the stab will be enough to incapacitate Asian Twilight, but not kill her immediately. Because she's a spirit, she's tougher than ordinary human beings, so it should not be.
So we see a blur as you pull Ashen Twilight off of Forsaken Crow's spear, and take her to the end of the temple. And I mean, to all intents and purposes, everyone saw her die, but you look and you know that she's a spirit and she is weak and she will need aid. She will need magic, but she is not going to die this day.
Yeah, so as I pass by the Forsaken Crow, I tell her this isn't worth it. None of this is. And yeah.
Pulls that off, you will realize immediately what Forsaken Crow, what Midnight Orchid has done. Praying Falcon, you're there. You see Peerless. Zalan is kind of standing by nearby. You see your sister, the blood pool spreading. You see that Mu has tried to come up, but these cultivators with their blades have engaged. What do you do?
I think I'll try to get close to the Sharkfinger Princess and steal her comb.
Okay, so this is an overcome for you to get a hold of this thing right now.
Because my thought process is that if we can beat her, then that's the biggest threat here at the moment.
Absolutely.
And I
Your sister's
think,
blood is still on her knife.
yeah, I'll roll with fire
Okay.
because I want to be quick, and that's an 8.
So I think you will grab it away from her, which you can later use as to try and reduce her scale. But I do think she realizes what you've done. Does that feel like a okay cost for the 8, or do you want to burn some bonds?
Yeah, I'm wondering, maybe we can have a small flashback where I did actually mention to one of my friends what I'm planning, and they can help me, so I can bump it up to a 10 with help and a bond.
I think the person who could assist you to draw their attention is Mu. Would you be okay with supporting them in this, Mu?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think you told me it was my sister, but maybe you told me about the plan in general.
That seems fair. What do you want to roll that comfort and support with, Mu? You're not in great shape.
I think I'm going to try to. Maybe I haven't exactly realized that the plan is happening right now. So could I try to compel to my sister using Strive for Mastery?
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
in the name of our father.
let's have you roll.
Okay.
What do you want to roll it with?
Earth is present, so Earth.
Okay.
Earth. That's 9. Could
That
I burn a bond to make it a 10?
Yes, you may.
Yay. Then that's a 10.
So that will bump you up by 1, Praying Falcon, to a 9. Do you want to spend your bond?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've just did with Midnight Orchid.
You have a hold of it, and she hasn't even noticed that you've taken this object from her.
Maybe I got like a similar comp.
Yeah.
Switched it.
Indiana Jones style. Okay. Forsaken Crow. You see Praying Falcon is still up at the side of Sharkfinger Princess. Still up there. You see that Mu is engaged with these cultivators. You see your teacher, Peerless Alon, still standing, barring the way. What do you want to do?
I attack Peerless Zalan.
Okay. You will move up to engage her. She is your teacher.
Rolling with fire. I've got an 11.
Okay. When you attack someone who's a higher scale than you, you will. Tell me how she drives you back.
Yeah, I think she knows all my moves, like all the charge. She's just ready. She's just like parrying, just it's effortless.
So she moves, she has she swirls her blade around your spear, she pushes you back, forces you back to the center of the temple. You kind of stagger back. You don't mark an element, but she is like, you are still my student and you cannot beat me on your own.
Nice.
And what do you do, Moo?
I think when I see Praying Falcons swap the comms, I realize what's happening. Nigel, is this a pig in a bridge? Meaning, is she possessed? Is Onyx possessed?
And you notice that that's the case. That conveys it to you.
And I'm still engaged with the troops, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna. What's
Deal
that?
with them?
Deal with troops?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll with your style element.
I have marked my style element.
Ooh, well then that's an issue. So you can't fight someone when you have your style element marked. The best you can do here at this point, you're going to need somebody to help you by clearing your element. But right now, the best you can do is an overcome to just like avoid the troops. You won't be able to take them out, but you'll be able to avoid them. Are you
Okay.
good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So roll overcome. With I assume with fire for the speed of this.
Yes, I think so. As far. That's an 11.
Okay, what does
That's
that
a
look
good-
like how do you get through them without like them even laying a hand on you?
I think that when I extended the lines, they cut them. So I think I'm just gonna like swirl them around myself, so that if they start cutting and they can't exactly reach me because I'm surrounded.
Forms a barrier as you kind of push through them, and you are up by Onyx, Viper, and Praying Falcon and Dawning Joy on the ground. We'll come back to what that looks like here in a moment. Let's come back to Midnight Orchid. Midnight Orchid, you will see Forsaken Crow hard pressed, fighting to and being pushed back by her teacher. And you see that scene going on up at the front. The troops are kind of following up to try and get a hold of Moo. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm going to deal with those troops.
Okay. What does that look like? Like when you go and leap over at the troops, what is it that you are doing?
Hold on, let me get the dice roll.
Sure.
It's kind of stuck for me. Oh, okay. Oh, I got a 6, so I'm going to burn a bomb to bump it up to 7.
Okay. Yeah, so tell me what that looks like. Tell me how you take these cultivators who are trying to get to protect the Sharkfinger Princess. How do you dispatch them?
Yeah, so I think I throw coins and dice at them and I hit a specific pressure point on their body, so to cut off their flow of chi, so they can no longer like do anything for the Sharkfinger Princess or fight for that matter.
Perfect.
Like they are just not effective anymore.
Yeah. you throw that, you're hitting these nerve clusters, these pressure points, and they are dropping down. They crash to the ground, and you've cleared them away. They are not going to threaten Moo. Praying Falcon, you will see a Forsaken Crow battling against her teacher and not, I mean, it's getting pushed back. But you also see Moo come up, and I think you will realize that Moo is not in good shape. Like she is hurt, is wounded. She might be able to help you overcome to lower the scale or use the bane, but you're not sure at this moment if she could fight unless someone helps her. What do you do?
Yeah, I want to comfort her actually.
Shouting encouragement?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you saying to Moo?
So this is like a very dramatic moment because I'm revealing that I actually know what she did in the past, and I say, look, I know what you did, but I forgive you, and let's work together on this now.
Nice. Roll that comfort and support.
So what would that be? I think I'm very present at the moment, so I'm rolling
right.
with Earth. Okay, that's a 7.
Moo, you may clear an element. Forsaken Crow. I'm going to come to Forsaken Crow, and they'll come back to Forsaken Crow. The teacher has you tied up. She's pushing you back. She has the advantage. She has the edge on you. What do you want to do?
So is there any way I can gain scale on her?
Absolutely. You take it like a non-combat action. Describe to me what you're doing to try and lower her scale to give you a shot at her. So tell me what that would look like. Like, what are you doing? What trick or stratagem are you invoking to get that edge?
If I can, I kind of want to like.
Oh, how about House of Traps?
I'm not sure.
You've got House of Traps.
Oh,
right?
You're right. I do. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna reveal that I secretly set some traps while I was running up, and as I was pushed back, she's gonna walk into them.
Let's have you roll this. Rather than giving you the bonus, this is going to be to lowering the scale. Let's have you make that roll. What do you want to roll the traps with?
Metal, because I think it's calculation.
Okay.
13.
Oh yeah, boxcars. What is the trap that you unleash that throws her completely off balance?
I think I just scattered some like caltrops or something on the floor, and she just steps right on one.
Yeah, she doesn't even see it. Like as you're going, you're doing your normal spear thrust that she's expecting, and she goes to hit at that, but that forces her forward. You throw in the caltrops, and she'll cry out and falls backwards. We see them embedded in her feet, and in a moment you'll have one shot. Moo. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna call back to the flashback. I'm in front of Onyx. I realize she's possessed, but I go like, look at this man. That the terrible things I've committed, signaling to Praying Falcon. It was for you and for me, and we did it to his family. Yeah, and now you also come and do this. This is not right, Onyx. We've done enough harm to his family, and he's just trying his best. I've seen him.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to lower her scale by distracting her?
I think I'm trying to like shake her into conscience, into herself.
Ooh, interesting. Let's have you roll overcome here.
With, I think it's still with passion, so
Okay.
with fire. That's 7.
So 7. I think you will see the figure of the shark-fingered princess like form, and she says, I have been telling her that. I've been telling her that she should not pursue this path, but this is the path she has gone on. And you can see that the two halves of her, the shark-fingered princess and Onyx Viper, are struggling there, like by words. Like there's a moment where they are going back and forth, trying to do this, like to get a hold of this. I'm going to kind of skip order just a little bit. Praying Falcon. Oh yes, Moo, you.
I don't know if I could use my alchemist move to inflate. Is the word? Inflame.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I think that's perfect for what's happening here. Like that struggle, that burning there,
Okay.
that tension. Praying Falcon. Do you want to use the Bane do you want to sort of like get her so that she is vulnerable?
Yeah.
Then that is an overcome roll to use this Bane. You have one good shot at this.
Yeah, I'm since I marked wood, I'm really overconfident, and you can see that he's approaching quickly, and so let's see. I'll roll with fire.
Okay.
It's a 4.
It is a 4. So I think you will apply that Bane, but there is that moment when she turns around and that dagger drops and the steel fan comes. What do you lose? You've rendered the Bane on her, but what do you lose? Do you lose an eye? Do you lose an arm? Do you lose your life? What is the cost here for stopping her?
Yeah, I think she'll get me right in the face, and I'll lose my right eye.
Yeah, we don't actually see that because that's
yeah.
eye injuries, but we do see blood on the face to denote that. And you stagger back away. Midnight Orchid, you see this. You see that Moo has gotten the shark-fingered princess. Onyx Viper like stopped, and then Praying Falcon, you hear that crack of magic as he applies this, but then staggers back injured. What do you do, Midnight Orchid? Do you help Forsaken Crow? Though Forsaken Crow now has the advantage. Do you stop Onyx Viper or something else?
Yeah, I'm going to try and stop Onyx Viper.
Then this is duel. For this moment, she is on your scale.
Okay.
That is a
I got a
9.
9.
Do you have a bond you want to burn?
Yeah, I think I'll burn a bond with the Shark Finger Princess to bump it up to a 10.
What does that look like? This combination, the force that you and Moo and Praying Falcon, like, what is it you do? And do you show mercy to Onyx Viper?
Yeah, I think what happens is once again I throw a lot of gambling objects at the Onyx Viper Shark Finger Princess, but because of their dark power, they were kind of able to, I think maybe they can like turn incorporeal and like those things just go right through them. And even if I pull them back, it wouldn't hurt them. But because Praying Falcon had applied the Bane, so like they are now susceptible to key attacks. And because when I throw things out, I actually still have threads made of key connecting those items to my finger. So like while they are dodging, I basically just built a web around them, like a nest or a web, like a spider web around them. And I trap Shark Finger Princess in the web.
Are you showing mercy, or are you finishing off Onyx Viper, who has committed all of these horrible crimes?
Yeah, I'm showing mercy. I said I'm sorry. I turned you away when you need me, but my job is to protect the mortal world from the supernatural world. But we all need to make our own choices, free from interference of higher or lower powers. And I'm sorry you made this choice, and I'm sorry I didn't help you make a better one. But this is your choice now, and I'm afraid either way you will have to live with it.
Forsaken Crow, you have this moment, Peerless Elan, you have the edge here. Roll duel. You have a chance while she is on your scale.
13.
13. What does that look like as you dispatch your teacher?
I think in that moment of distraction, I knock her weapon aside and then just run her through the heart.
She will fall. All right. We're going to go to epilogues here. Epilogues in the immediate aftermath, further down the road, something like that. Praying Falcon, we are going to start with you. And the important question is here. Is your sister alive or dead?
So I think we'll get a scene where it's a few days after, and everyone still gathers around. We're still at the same location, but this is not a joyful situation because Praying Falcon is now the host of the funeral for his sister. And you can see him on the front and speaking some words. He has like an eye patch now. And yeah, he thanks every one of his companions.
We see that the beauty and the things that were set up for the wedding have been repurposed for this funeral. Midnight Orchid, what is your epilogue?
Are we doing a short-term one or a long-term one? Or
You can do a little of both. You can do one or the other. It's up to you.
Can you do the others first?
Sure.
Still think.
Okay, sure. Forsaken Crow, your teacher is dead. Things have been revealed. What is your epilogue?
I think I'm not quite exiled again, but I think I'm pretty firmly told to get out of here. And I mean, I want to get away from Praying Falcon and Moo because I'm bad for them. So I think it's just like looking on the funeral from a distance and then just turning and heading out into the wilderness.
Yes. Pack at your side. We can tell that you are prepared for a long, long journey. Moo, what is your epilogue?
Immediately after the fight ends, I think I'm above my sister, above Onyx, and I like caress her and tell her, "I'm sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry. I should have taken better decisions for you, for me." And looking at Falcon crying over his own sister, and for our friends or extended family. And I just have one question for
Yeah.
Praying Falcon. Do you think, Falcon, you would travel again, or you will stay and tend to your household?
I think for the next while, I'll stay. But maybe we meet again after a while.
Yeah,
Okay.
just I don't know, the next week before parting, I just apologize again to Praying Falcon, and I tell him, let's agree, possessions are monsters, Falcon. Hope I see you again.
Nice. And Midnight Orchid.
Yeah, so I think in the immediate aftermath, I kind of nursed Asian Twilight back to health. And I think that like she's very grateful, and so I think they kind of just become like an item. And she was like, you know, I love Moon, but you still saved me. And yeah, so I think they went to Praying Falcon's sister's funeral together, and Asian Twilight feel pretty bad about her part in it. And I think the distant epilogue for Midnight Orchid is that we see her sit down on a mahjong table with a person with a horse face and one with a bull head, and like someone with an older man with a lot of beard and a very thick book, and the old man, which is honestly it's the Yama King, and the Yama King is like, why do you want to play mahjong with me, little human? What do you have to bet on? And Midnight Orchid just kind of smirk and say, how about and life for a life? If I win, you strike my name from the book of life and death, and that's her ending.
Nice. Thank you. I would like to do just a quick go around for stars for things that you dug, particular character plays or moments that you appreciated. So Praying Falcon, anything you want to call out star-wise?
Well, the whole session was just amazing. I really enjoyed it, especially when Mu had the idea for gambling together that brought everyone together, and then Midnight Orchid gave her speech. That was really an amazing moment. I loved Forsaken Crow's plan to kill Ashen Twilight, and it didn't eventually happen. But then the situation with the teacher, that was quite good as well. And overall, big star to you, Lowell, for bringing everything together. That was an amazing scene at the end, and the revelation that well, who the Sharkfinger Princess is. That was great.
Awesome. Kyle, Forsaken Crow.
Yeah, stars for everyone. I think we did a great job of having all of our entanglements entangle us, and we were all just sort of bouncing off of each other. I also like the reveal of who the princess was. It really turned out well.
Awesome. Midnight Orchid.
yeah, this is a really great session. Starts for everyone. I honestly, when playing Falcon went to confront Onyx Viper, I was just about to say, wait, what if Onyx Viper is the Shark Finger Prince? Because this makes a lot of sense. And yeah, so it's a great reveal. Yeah, and yeah, I think it's everything just work out very well. I like how I didn't actually expect Midnight Orchid to actually play into the whole wisdom provides solution angle of the aware playbook, because I didn't imagine her to be so serious, but she actually works out like she's not so serious or she's not so orthodox, but when the time comes, she can be very wise and very empathetic. So yeah, I really like being able to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. And then Anya, I'm going to give you last word.
Well, what everyone says, I totally agree. But what I especially liked was that this session, there was like a lot of rejection and bad outcomes and that kind of stuff. I feel like often when you play, there's this want for everything to go right, and we just allowed ourselves to go into the bad outcomes, and I think it came out really great for me, especially with the conversation with Forsaken Crow. That was a great moment. And Lowell, every single time I play with you, I find something that I'm gonna steal for the next time I run a game. So thank you so much for that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's playing with people. I learn a ton, and so this is a joy. This is an absolute joy. What a great group, and I love the supernatural stuff so much. So this was really fun. Thank you all. I'm going to stop the recording.